Like, not in the UFC yet, but look at Dakota Ditcheva. She is a scary striker, and she's an amazing athlete, right? But her mom was Muay Thai world champion, so she came up in this sport and has been doing it her whole entire life.
When UFC fans think of the most dangerous women in MMA, names like Valentina Shevchenko, Amanda Nunes, or Zhang Weili might come to mind, but Juliana Killer Miller just threw a grenade into the conversation, calling Dakota effing Ditcheva the scariest problem in the sport right now. And after you see why you might agree or you might think she's out of her mind,
like, not in the UFC yet, but look at Dakota Ditcheva. She is a scary striker, and she's an amazing athlete, right? But her mom was Muay Thai world champion, so
Miller didn't just throw out some empty hype, she broke it down Dakota's stance, completely unorthodox, hypnotic, like she's moving in slow motion until she explodes. Opponents think they're safe, then bam, head kick straight right, or a spinning back fist straight to your jaw.
Sprinkle him by TKO or KO. I will tell you, the confidence that she's going to have now getting up is going to be unbelievable.
And there it is. Beautiful knee from the plum.
And Ditcheva beckons Jenna Bishop back to her feet and goes immediately on the attack. Oh,
Bishop in trouble.
And that doesn't. First round finish, and Dakota Ditcheva silences.
Miller compared her movement to a trap, lulling you into thinking she's passive, then changing speeds in the blink of an eye. And it's not just striking her takedown defense, rock solid. Juliana also pointed out something most people miss: Dakota's ground game. She's not known as a grappler, but when you put her on her back, she's got a slick butterfly guard that creates space instantly. Within seconds, she's back on her feet and the nightmare continues. And here's where things get really controversial. Dakota's still undefeated, but she's not in the UFC yet, and Miller's comments just added fuel to the fire for fans begging Dana White to sign her. But here's the problem: if Dakota comes in and murders the UFC's top flyweights, what does that say about Alexa Grasso, about Valentina Shevchenko, about the entire division? Juliana wasn't praising her as a fan. She was warning the division Dakota is a scary problem, means she's the kind of fighter who will end your night in one mistake. That's not hype. That's a direct threat to every woman with a belt. If Dakota does make the UFC jump, the matchups write themselves: Alexa, Valentina, even Erin Blanchfield. The UFC women's flyweight division has been waiting for a shakeup, and Juliana Miller may have just given Dana the perfect excuse to pull the trigger. So what do you think? Is Juliana Miller right? Is Dakota Ditcheva the scariest problem in MMA today? Or is this just hype until she proves it inside the UFC octagon? Because if Miller's right, every queen in the UFC is about to get dethroned.
I feel right now, looking at the two people who are fighting for their belt, you could beat them right now. Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah, I think I could. Yeah, I definitely think I'd be up there.
Your skill set matches up perfectly with theirs. It's not like they're wrestlers or anything like that.
No, and I think we'll see that when I win this season now, and say I beat someone like Liz Carmouche and Talia Santos. As soon as I've beat them, I think, what else can people expect other than greatness for the rest of the year?
PFL star Dakota Ditcheva isn't just chasing belts anymore. She's hunting UFC royalty. And after destroying Bellator standout Sumiko Inaba, she's looking straight at Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko, and she's saying, "I'm coming for your crown." Dakota Ditcheva, 27 years old, 15-0, only one fight has gone the distance. She's been running through opponents like a buzzsaw in PFL Europe and the global stage. This year, she's chasing the $1 million PFL championship, but her eyes are locked on something bigger, the UFC flyweight title. Her latest victim, Bellator veteran Sumiko Inaba, finished in devastating fashion. No hesitation. No mercy. In a recent interview, Dakota didn't flinch when asked about UFC champions Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. I could have the title if I went there. Yeah, I think I could beat Grasso and Shevchenko. That's not just confidence, that's a call out. She's not asking for an invite, she's telling the UFC she's ready to walk in and take over Dakota. Says the critics don't get it. They claim she hasn't fought top-tier names, but when her opponents go against others, they have close fights against her, they get finished early. She makes them look like they don't belong in the cage. With her length, unorthodox striking, and finishing instinct, she believes she can not only hang with UFC champions, she can dominate them. But let's be real, Alexa Grasso shocked the world by submitting Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina, she's one of the most dominant champions in MMA history. Taking out either woman isn't just another fight. It's climbing Mount Everest with no rope. Dakota doesn't care. She says she's got the tools, the confidence, and the mindset to make it happen. First, Dakota has to finish the job in PFL. That means going through names like Liz Carmouche, a former UFC title challenger, and Taila Santos, the woman who nearly beat Shevchenko. If she clears that path, the UFC will have no choice but to take notice. So here's the million-dollar question. Is Dakota Ditcheva the next queen of the flyweights? Or is this just another hype train about to hit the UFC wall? One thing's for sure after her latest win, and that fucking bomb she dropped, the fight world is listening.
Yeah, I think.
And then who wins? Dakota versus Valentina.
You really make me say that. She's my favorite fighter, but come on.
Favorite fighter, number one.
Yeah, she is. She's always been my favorite fighter, Valentina.
Wow.
Yeah.
All time.
Yeah, all time.
Have you ever told her
I
this?
just think like she's just like an MMA athlete. Like,
yeah.
What can she not do? Like, she can grapple. If she needs to win by grappling, she can do it. If she needs to strike, she can do it. Like, I mean, so many people thought she was going to get a belt taken off her by the French girl, Manon
Fiorot.
Oh, you said it quite well. Yeah, people wrote her off with that, and look what she did. She always finds a way to win. I think she's very, very clever.
Dakota F-King Ditcheva, and she just called out the queen of violence herself, Valentina Shevchenko. Let's be real. Everyone thought Dakota Ditcheva would jump ship to the UFC undefeated, violent, marketable British, a perfect Dana White signing. But what did she do instead? She re-signed with the PFL while throwing shade at the UFC by keeping her options wide open.
In the post-fight interview, you announced that you had re-signed with the PFL. Congratulations. Are you happy with how everything turned out?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I am happy now in the end. It took a while. I mean, I fought last November, so it took a while for us to come to, you know, something that was right for the both of us. But I'm happy now, you know, I just secured my future for me and my family.
And now she's gunning for the fight most UFC women won't even whisper about, Valentina Shevchenko, one of the most feared women in MMA history. This isn't just a crossover fight. This would be the first real PFL versus UFC women's super fight. But here's the truth. The UFC won't say out loud, Dakota is a threat. And not just to Valentina, to their entire flyweight division. Think about it, a young, undefeated blonde striker with serious KO power, and she's not under UFC control.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say Bellator has had Hawaii events.
Bellator could put on a fucking fight in the parking lot. Dude, I can't even believe you just said that. PFL could... You know PFL was here on Friday. Did anybody know that? You're the media guys. I didn't know till fucking Friday. They were selling tickets, buy two, get two free. I'm not busting on them. That's a fucking fact. They put out a memo, buy two, get two free. You're having a bad fucking week if those are the memos you're putting out.
Hey, Dana.
There were more people in my fucking green room tonight than there were at the fight.
Finally,
Wouldn't just be about belts, it would be about promotional pride, and that's why the UFC is staying silent. Let's talk about Valentina. She's a legend. No debate, but she's not untouchable anymore. Alexa Grasso exposed cracks. And Dakota? She's younger, hungrier, and she's not afraid to talk about it. Dakota's message is loud and clear. If Valentina's still on top when it happens, I'm in. That's a challenge, a warning, a threat, and maybe even a prophecy. Let's be honest, the UFC didn't want to lose Kayla Harrison. Now they're watching Dakota become the next breakout star, and she's doing it without them. If Dakota versus Valentina actually happens and the UFC loses on their own turf, it's game over for the narrative that UFC is the only elite league, and deep down, Dana knows it. Social media's been on fire since Dakota said the words UFC champ versus PFL champ. Some fans say she hasn't earned it. Others say Valentina would destroy her. But the real ones, they know this is exactly the kind of fight women's MMA needs. Dakota ain't ready. Valentina ends her in 2 rounds. This girl might be the future. Dana missed out big. UFC ducked another star. And with Dakota turning 27 today, she's entering her prime. The UFC can't ignore her much longer. Dakota Ditcheva is ready. Valentina Shevchenko is legendary. And the fans? They want this super fight bad. The question now isn't if it happens, it's who breaks first, Valentina's aura or the UFC's grip on women's MMA. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Should the UFC make this fight happen, or is Dakota just chasing clout? And don't forget to like, sub, and smash that bell for more savage breakdowns every damn week.
Just re-signed with PFL. We've come to a great agreement, and I'm going to look forward to the next few.
Dakota Ditcheva just sent a chilling message to the entire MMA world. With blood on her elbows, fire in her eyes, and a re-signing announcement that shook the PFL cage. The Queen of Violence just dominated a Bellator veteran in brutal fashion and made it look easy. This wasn't just a win. This was a straight-up masterclass in destruction. Sumiko Inaba came in 8-1. Hawaii's own, a Bellator veteran with a chin and a heart. But Dakota? She came with knees. She came with elbows. She came to disfigure. And for 15 minutes, she picked Inaba apart like a surgeon possessed. I mean, 30-24? That's not a fight score. That's a cry for help. From the opening bell, Ditcheva was in kill mode. Using all 8 limbs like a Muay Thai monster, she dropped elbows so sharp they could have signed the PFL contract themselves. And those knees? They bent time. They broke faces. They had Inaba stumbling, spinning, and bleeding. By round 2, Sumiko wasn't fighting to win, she was fighting to survive. And here's the kicker: Dakota might have broken her hand during the assault. But did she slow down? No. She just switched weapons like a damn boss. Legs, knees, left elbows, high kicks. She turned into a one-woman arsenal. Let that sink in. She might have fought 2 rounds with one hand and still delivered a career-altering beating. Then, just when fans thought it was over, boom, Dakota Ditcheva announces her re-signing with PFL. No Bellator, no UFC. She's staying now. Look, people are asking why stay in PFL, and some fans are straight up calling it a waste of talent, but here's what they're missing. Dakota's not running. She's building a legacy where she's the queen, the killer, the poster girl. She's already the face of PFL Europe. Now she's dominating PFL Africa. And next, maybe she crosses into that Kayla Harrison territory, the $1 million legacy lane. Fans are calling her the Valentina of the PFL. But let's be real, at just 26, she might surpass Valentina, Harrison, Cyborg, all of them. UFC fans, be scared. Bellator fighters, stay retired. Because Dakota Ditcheva is undefeated, uninjured, and now unchained with that fresh new contract. Cape Town just witnessed a star go supernova. Sumiko Inaba got broken. The cage got baptized in blood. And Dakota Ditcheva, she just made PFL her kingdom.
Ladies and gentlemen, our co-main event was scheduled for 3 rounds. It went the full distance, and we now go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this bout unanimously. For your winner, Dakota Dangerous Ditcheva.
She just dominated a Bellator veteran, re-signed with the PFL, and sent a message to the entire women's MMA world. Dakota Ditcheva isn't just taking over, she's embarrassing the competition. Let's call it what it is. The UFC let Kayla Harrison walk Amanda Nunes retired, and women's MMA was in free